Hey, what's up guys? It's i-WildGrizz here, bringing you guys some Forza tunes. Coming back at it again. You know, I can't get rid of my Forza games. This is what I do. So, I'm gonna get straight into it. The Nissan 370Z A-Class car. I actually own this in real life, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do my first build on this car. So, let's get right into it, and I'll show you guys what I put into it. So as always, we're gonna go straight into the conversions just to see, and then we're gonna go jump into all the handling, and then we're gonna do engine upgrades last. Of course, I always build my cars around grip. Of course, it's Horizon series, so it's not like the motorsports where you need extreme grip. So I do focus a lot more on engine. And not only that, I will be doing more cars like rally racing and off-roading and for like rainy days and stuff like that. So it's not always going to be grip, but for the most part, it is. So let's get right into it. Engine swap, I left it stock. I have no engine upgrades. For the drivetrain, I left that stock as well. Left it real drive, Jesus Christ. Aspiration, of course, I added my centrifugal supercharge. And that is all it for the conversions. So we go straight into the platform and handling. Of course, we're gonna go straight into the race brakes. For the brakes, for the spring and dampers, I went with the race spring and dampers. Of course, we did not go in with rally. For the roll bars, I went race for both rear and front. For the reinforcement roll cage, I left this stock. I didn't need to add any weight to my car. And I added a street weight reduction. For the drive terrain, clutch, left this stock. I drive manual and clutch, so for those of you guys who do drive in automatic or manual, I will try to find some room to add at least a sport clutch. You don't really need a race. Transmission, I went with a race transmission. Driveline, race driveline. Differentials, I went with a race differential. And that is all I did for the drivetrain. Now for the tires and rims. For the tire compound, I went with a street tire compound. Just enough what I need for a, what's it called, grip. I didn't really need anything too crazy besides these other ones. Boost your class there a lot, so don't even focus on that. Now for the front, I went with a 265. And for the rear, I went with a 295. For the rim size, I left it stock, but if you do want to increase it, you can go right ahead. But that does seem to increase your class there, so don't recommend it. For the rim style, I went with a Volk Racing TE37. I do love these rims a lot just because they have those stickers on them, or the slicks as they call it, or something like that. So it does look real nice. Now for the Aero and appearance, I did go with the Nismo front. And that's going to be the second one, not the first. Of course, this is all up to you guys. It's optional or preference wise. And for the wing, I did add a Forza 3 race wing. I do recommend adding this though. Of course, if you don't find necessary to use it, go ahead and add any other spoiler of your choice. For the rear bumper, I added the Nismo Street, which is the second one. And for the side skirts, I went with the first Nismo Street side skirt. Now, as far as engine goes, with the intake, I added a race intake. For the fuel system, added a sport fuel system. Ignition, sport ignition. Exhaust, went with a race exhaust. For the camshaft, I left it stock. Valves, stock. Displacement, stock. Pistons and compression, I went with a race piston. For the supercharge, I left it stock. You can minus some of these other upgrades if you want to add at least a sport supercharge. I wouldn't recommend a race supercharge just because it will overpower your car and you will have a lot of understeer. So that's why I went with most of these other ones, just to have a balance between my car. For the intercooler and oil and cooling, I left both these stock. And for the flywheel, I went with a race flywheel. Now, once you upgrade all that into it, it should leave you at a 800 with a 438 horsepower, 342 pounds of torque. So that's not too bad for an A class. I do really well with this car. I actually love it. I use this car for a lot of my JDM's races right now. So let's get right into the tune. Now for the tuning setups, I went for the front and rear with a 29.5 and 29.0 for the rear. Gearing is all preference. I don't even think I messed with it, so I don't even know why I added a race transmission. I actually like the way it was stock. But as always, this is what I came up with, even though I probably didn't mess with it at all. The alignment, of course, was the hardest part for me to mess with. Actually, I was on this for at least a half hour trying to get everything right, but I found this perfect for me. But of course, as far as tuning goes, for every time, it's all preference, but I'm just giving you my opinion on this kind of stuff. So for the alignment, I went with a front negative 1.2 camber, rear 0.1, sorry, negative 1.0, what the hell? Negative 0.1, negative 0.7, and with a 5.3 caster. So that's what I came up with the alignment. Of course, it took me forever for this part. Roll bars 27.6 and 17.36 for the roll bars. Springs, I think I did die down the springs just quite a bit. And for the ride height, I dropped it a lot. For the ride height, you can actually bump it up if you feel like there's a lot of bumps in your races. That's also what damping is for. So, you know, those damn dampers, once you come from a fall, jump, or a little dip, this will help you as well. But I left mine pretty basic. And for the Aero, I went with a 165 rear. Of course, we didn't add the front Forza bumper. You can add it if you want more of that downforce. For the brake, I went with the 47%, goddamn, balance for the rear, and a 93% pressure for the braking. Differential went with a 69 acceleration and 41% of deceleration. So there it is. There is the whole entire tuned car. You know, I really hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff. Of course, I take any recommendations. So if you guys have a car that you would like for me to actually try to tune to see, I'm always open for suggestions. So as always, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.